What do you know that many other people don't? That it's possible to kill someone with an apple without having them eat it. Your nasal tract can hold up to 8 cc of cotton wool. Japan has a badass women's pro wrestling scene. The server doesn't provide network connectivity, it's more of a glorified hard drive. Its relays AMD switches hooked up to the server that provide you network connectivity and also allow you to access your files in the server. The only thing I know is that I know nothing. The fact that I had to explain to someone a few days ago the difference between a file and a folder. This size of my dick. CPR isn't designed to bring people back to life, although it can on its own. Its real purpose is to keep oxygenated blood flowing through the body, so that the major organs don't die, so then there is a much higher chance of coming back to life when the defibrillator is used. I know how to tune a pipe organ with thousands of pipes, ranging in size from 32 feet tall to pencil-size, both wood and metal. Passwords to my online accounts. To be fair, I don't know some of them, either. I can say the alphabet backwards, lol. Does this count? The secret to making a lasagna with all the layers looking nice and separate. How to start a friction fire with naturally gathered materials. My neighborhood is full of swingers. My pin. The airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow, European, is 11 meters per second or 24 miles per hour. What has it got in its pockets is, a moose can't walk and pee at the same time, and they faint if they hold their pee for too long. Finns use Poronkusama, the distance a moose can travel without peeing. Some of the ways that the British screwed up Australia, and that genetic testing has on the past shown that the first non-indigenous people to settle in Australia were actually Dutch. The British were just the first to colonize it. A supernova, seen from one astronomical unit, the distance between the Sun and Earth will be much, much brighter than a hydrogen bomb that detonates right in front of your eyes. As a consultant, I've recently learned how unprepared businesses were for the pandemic. I'm talking large corporations that didn't have any infrastructure in place to handle a work-from-home situation. You know why you couldn't get a hold of a representative to check your balance at XYZ Bank? Yeah, I do, and it's crazy. How to find the optimum moisture content for a sandcastle. The Muffin Man. Russian writer Anton Chekhov, 1860–1904, was friends with innovative director and actor Konstantin Stanislavski, who premiered a lot of Chekhov's plays. Even though the crowd was enthusiastic, Chekhov was never happy with the ways Stanislavski staged his plays. He thought his friend used too many useless sound effects and too many big emotions. He made everything way too theatrical for Chekhov's taste. How to fold a fitted sheet. I am a wizard. Glass can take 1 million years to biodegrade. Plastic only takes about 1,000. I had to write a paper on the sustainability of bottled water this year, and I was shook when I found this piece of information. We hear so much shit about plastic being bad for the environment, and it is that I always assumed materials like glass would degrade quickly. The English language didn't always have a suffix for present progressive tense ing. Instead of what are you reading, you would ask what do you read, or how do you do. Ing came from ing, which described an activity. Like if you were milking the cow, and someone asked where you were, the answer could be she is in milking. Add a couple hundred years and we got the modern use of ing. Source wrote a term paper on it. Idiot is actually a scientific term for a person with an IQ below 20. About 2 weeks ago, the CDC published a report that most news organizations didn't touch on, but the BBC did. At the current precautions the US is taking for COVID-19, they estimate that 70% of the population will be infected before this is done. What they didn't go on to say is that at a 3% death rate, that's close to 7 million people dead before this is over. We just passed 80,000. No one is reporting anything close to this, and it seems weird that no one is thinking about it. A lot of people probably know this already, but I still think it's cool. You can rearrange a deck of playing cards MROE times than the amount of seconds there has been since the beginning of the universe. The hole in the back of President Kennedy's head was measured by Dr. Pierre Fink, the only ballistics expert to examine his body, to be smaller than the caliber of bullet Lee Harvey Oswald was supposed to have fired. Sweet dreams, democracy lovers. Producing a sound at 1,100 decibels is strong enough to start a black hole that a person can temporarily seek for an instant, not light minutes, stick their hand into a vat of liquid nitrogen and not get hurt, due to a principle called the Leidenfrost effect. Basically, since your hand is so much hotter than the liquid, it creates a layer of vapor around your hand that acts as an insulator and keeps you from getting a serious ice burn. I used to love scaring kids with that one when I'd put on physics shows.